Hi everybody, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids, and this session is going to be about deflasking plants here, or orchids. We have two different types of orchids. The first one that we have here, this is a Cymbidium primary hybrid here, and then this is a Tolumnia, or as I like to call it affectionately, Equiton Oncidium. They take different types of situations after they get out of the flask. As you can see, I already broke the flask here for the Cymbidiums, and I'm going to go into when you should take a plant out of flask. Well, first of all, if you order a flask from eBay or something like that, you will probably get them either deflasked already, or else if they send it to you in the flask, the agar media is going to be all jumbled up and you will have to take it out of flask in, a short amount of time, a week or so anyway. Second thing is these are both in good shape as far as the agar media goes, and that you can see here with the Cymbidiums that there's several of the leaves here that are starting to brown. Anytime you get a brown leaf or anything like that on more than one plant, it's probably time to take it out and pot them up. One thing to look for other than that is, if you can see on the Tolumnias here, there is really good root growth. With the Tolumnias, we have the advantage of these plants are already very well along. They're about half of the size of a flowering size plant. So they are really nice, hardy, and ready. Something that you have to be aware of. If you're going to do this in the home and take plant out of flask, you're going to be dealing with going from, in the flask here, you have got 100% humidity. And you have to adapt these plants from 100% humidity to a lower level. In the greenhouse here, it's not quite as much of a problem because I usually have about 70% humidity to begin with. Okay, if you're going to do this in the house, there's a fair number of ways to go about it. One of the ways is to do this procedure that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. Let me back things up here. There we go. Okay. Let me show you this. What I have here, this is just a water bottle. It's Dasani, and this seems to work really well. It's a 16.9 ounce Dasani water bottle, okay? And it's been rinsed out, okay? I'm going to try to cut through here. There we go. And just cut around the bottle. There we are, we're through. Now, usually in a case like this, I would use something like sphagnum moss or something, and I would just put a little bit of sphagnum moss in there, like so. And I would not do this very tightly, okay? And then put my plants in there, just kind of wiggle them around. If you want to, you can use a pencil like this to kind of make an area or a hole to get the plants in and work the roots around. Pencil works really good for that. And then after you're done, just cut a few slits going up here. like I said, scissors would probably be much better. Might have to use my knife here. Okay, and then after you get your plants in here, you just go around and work the outside. Something like this. Now this is supposed to go real nice and smooth, but it's not. But there we go. And once you get this around, I like this particular type of bottle because first of all, it goes straight up and down, and the rings kind of lock into place after you get that back on. Okay, and then maybe for a few days you want to put the lid on like that, and then after a while just take the lid off, and then you can do a few different things. One thing to be careful of with this: do not under any circumstances allow any direct sunlight to hit this, because it will heat up in a flash and burn your tender little seedlings. Okay, so you want to have this under filtered light only. Okay, and then after a while you can either cut holes in this and eventually you'll take it back off. Okay, and at that point you may want to put a couple holes in here. You could actually do that before you pot them up. And you have a nice little community pot here going, and by that time it will be adapted. So we're going to start working on these Oncidiums first of all, and I'm going to try to be very careful here. And there we go. You see, this comes out pretty easily. Now I have my water's already starting to cool, so let me get some warmer water in here. One thing that's nice with a gravel floor is you can just dump the water on the floor. So, okay, now it's warm. You don't want this to be hot, just warm. Okay, and you can see here now that there's good roots on these. Okay. And what you do with this is you just take this, and I hope you can see, you just swish it around, and the agar media pretty much comes loose very easily. Okay. So I want to take most of this off. And we're going to separate the plants a bit here. Even in Flask, you will find out that you will have some plants that are larger than others, sometimes by quite a bit. Okay. You have things like right here, this is just a tiny little thing yet. You can see that, and we'll try to pot it up and take care of it. I mean, that's the whole objective, to get plants here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is sit this or throw it in the trash. You have to be very careful if you're breaking that. Best way is to score it. I don't know if you can see this or not, but as I said, you will find this is, I don't know if you can see these little things here. There's no real leaves on them at all. These are plants in what's called the protocorm stage, and they will not make it, so they get tossed with the bathwater. Okay, and now what I'm going to do here is just lightly spray this, and this is the product that I use. I get this from First Strays. It's a very good product. It's called BioSafe Disease Control. It is pretty much a stabilized hydrogen peroxide solution, and I use just a spray bottle here that I've rinsed out real well. I put about a tablespoon in this per quart, and I'm just going to spray this down, and that will do a good job in trying to prevent any type of fungus or mold from growing. Okay, now we're going to put these in 3.5-inch pot. I think I'm going to do 2 pots. I'm going to take 1 pot and just do this right here. Okay, if there's a little bit of the agar solution left, don't worry too much about it. It will be fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is take styrofoam peanuts and fill up the bottom half. And I'm going to break this up a little bit. Reason I'm going to break it up, or am breaking it up, is that I'm going to put some seedling bark in here. Okay, that's pretty good like that. And you can see that's about half full. Now, come over here and get my seedling bark mix, and I'm going to just put some of that on, enough to cover it pretty good. Tap it down just a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to put these in, just sit them in there like that. And then I am going to get some of my peat moss. And I need something to dip it out with. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is just very lightly tap this in and around here. Again, about a 1/2 inch or so. Okay. Now, as you might know, Cymbidiums are semi-terrestrial. Okay. And that is why I'm using peat moss like this. There we go. Now, all that I need to do then is to just wet it down very lightly, and they will be ready to go. Okay, I will do the others later. I want to go along now and work on these Tolumnias here with you. Okay? Okay, we're back now, and we're going to work on these Tolumnias. To get these out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just pour some water in there. There we go. That comes off rather well. You notice there's a little hole here in this stopper. It's filled with cotton. That's to allow this to breathe and at the same time filter the air that is going into it. Okay? And now I'm going to give you a close-up look here, and you can see these have got a lot of roots. They're in really good shape, and they are very ready to come out. So just tap this a little bit. You see this is it loosens up very, very easily like that, and we'll just pour a little bit of warm water in there. There we go. And agitate. And I have to be careful getting these out because I want the roots to not be pulled off or anything. I think I might actually give these a second rinse because this agar media is kind of just disintegrating rather than going into clumps. A little more water. Look, you see that it's just totally dissolving. And we have a clump here, which is giving me a bit of a hard time. Got a lot of plants in here. I'd say there's at least 50 plants. They are really being stubborn. There we go. Okay. Now, got things pretty well out of here. Okay, I'm going to dump this. I have kind of an odd situation here. The tripod's actually sitting in the sink. So, a little strange here. Okay, I hope that's enough water. That's all I got. And yeah, these are pretty clean here. Now, in a lot of cases, what I'm going to do here with these is quite a bit different than what I did with the Cymbidiums. I have got here a 4-inch clay pot, and I'm going to put some sphagnum moss on it. It's already filled more than halfway. I'm sorry, I should have showed you. It's filled most of the way with styrofoam peanuts. And I just want to have just a very light layer of moss in there. Again, this moss is very, very good. It's much better than what you get from Home Depot or Lowe's or, you know, places like that. Looks like this. I don't know what the brand name is. It looks like it's got both English and I guess that's Japanese on it. But this is actually New Zealand sphagnum moss. It isn't Chilean, which is a little bit different. Strands are very long. It has very few weed seeds in. Nice long strands. I highly recommend it. Again, I'll put a plug in for first rays. Ray Barkalow does a great job with his site and his business. I got this from him. Tell him I sent you. I don't know what he'll do, but he'll probably charge you another $1 or so. But what I'm going to do here is just start taking these, and I'm going to move the camera in a little bit closer here. We're going to zoom in about like so. Okay, I hope that you'll be able to see everything I'm doing there. Now all I'm going to do is take these. Oh, first I'm going to spray again. Okay. Now, if there's two plants sticking together like this, that's not a problem. If there's a little bit of auger in with it, that's not a problem either. The auger will wash out after a period of time. And I'm just going to use a pencil here and start working them in. Kind of go around the outside. And these like to have most of their roots in the air or exposed. So you're not going to get a whole lot of them buried into this, okay? That's also why it's just a small amount of sphagnum moss. What's going to happen here is the sphagnum is going to provide very, very high humidity. Also, especially because with the clay pot here, it will be evaporating moisture the entire time. Okay, and I'm probably going to be watering this every couple of days, because even with no roots or plants in it, this will evaporate very quickly. You notice this sphagnum moss it's not packed at all. It's just kind of laying in there, and it will probably settle a little bit. But I'm just going around here trying to get a few roots in there. Again, these are very nice plants. Got these from a very nice woman named Jeannie Keating, who is a judge up in New York. And she's working with cold-tolerant Tolumnias using Oncidium compressicale and other species. I want to put just a little bit more moss in there. And I want to be careful that I don't cover anything up. So you can see I'm going to be able to get maybe a dozen plants or so in a pot here. And I'm going to keep going, and 3 or 4 pots will hopefully be enough to take care of it all. And what I do after this is, like the Cymbidiums, they will be watered very lightly with a spray, just a mist spray. And I'm going to keep the light level moderately low, always in the shade. And as these plants get older, both the Cymbidiums and the Tolumnias are capable of taking a fair amount of light. The Cymbidiums much more so even than the Tolumnias. They can, a mature Cymbidium can sometimes take full sun. But there you have it. One more little one here just to round things out. Like I said previously, a pencil is really nice to move things around, to be able to work seedlings into a mix. Okay? And there you have it. One last thing is I will take a label and label these plants, and that way I will always know what they are, and I'm going to put the date on, and they will be nice and happy, just like Bob Ross goes, nice and happy little birdies and plants. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. This is Wade Hollenbach here, and this is Wade's Orchids, and I hope you came away with this with a little better knowledge about how to deflask things. It's not that hard to do. It's nice to do something like this and then share them with friends. It's very easy to grow things in a community pot like this and then just send them bare root after they've taken off and they're established to friends near and far. And it's really nice to share things. Okay, so again, this is Wade Hollenbach from Wade's Orchids. Thanks a lot. We'll see you. Remember to subscribe. Bye-bye.